In this short video, I'm going to explain the differences between scholarly sources and non-scholarly sources, also known as popular sources. I'm also going to talk about peer-reviewed sources, a specific type of scholarly source. So, what are scholarly sources? Scholarly sources are written by experts or specialists on a subject relevant to their expertise or professional experience. They are often peer-reviewed, but not always. Scholarly sources are usually written for scholars, researchers, academics, and students. In other words, a specialized readership. Scholarly sources are reliable more often than non-scholarly sources, but this does not mean they are above scrutiny. They reliably cite their sources. Here are 3 citation examples identifying scholarly sources. The first 2 citations are from scholarly journals, and the last citation example is an ebook title. So, what are non-scholarly sources, also known as popular sources? Non-scholarly sources are written by anyone, regardless of expertise, but they're best used when they are credible and written by someone with authority on the given topic. Non-scholarly sources are written for a general audience, although they may target a narrow readership. They do not consistently cite their sources. Non-scholarly sources are less expert than scholarly sources, but this does not mean they are strictly unreliable. They are often called popular sources. Here are 3 citation examples of non-scholarly or popular sources. The first source is from a news aggregation site. The second and third sources are books. One identifies a specific chapter of a reference book, and the other cites a book in its entirety. In APA style, the book titles are italicized. To summarize scholarly versus non-scholarly, remember that scholarly sources are written by experts in their given fields, scholars or researchers with credible affiliations and relevant credentials. They are often academic and peer-reviewed, also known as refereed, but not always. They are often articles published in scholarly and/or academic journals. They may also be books, ebooks, or conference publications. Non-scholarly sources, also known as popular sources, for example newspapers and magazines, are intended for a broad audience. They're often written by journalists, editors, columnists, or bloggers. They're often articles published in popular media and news sources. They may also be books, ebooks, or online multimedia. Now let's talk about what constitutes a peer-reviewed source. What are peer-reviewed sources? Peer-reviewed sources are scholarly sources written by experts that are reviewed by peer experts in the same field prior to publication. They are often more reliable than any other sources. Remember, all peer-reviewed sources are scholarly, but not all scholarly sources are peer-reviewed. Here you can see a diagram demonstrating the overlap. And here is an example of a scholarly source citation that is not a peer-reviewed source. It may not be obvious at a glance, but if we click the DOI link, we can see that we're taken to an op-ed or opinion editorial piece in a scholarly research journal. You'll note that there are no citations on this piece and there's no abstract. Thanks for watching my short video on understanding and identifying scholarly sources, non-scholarly sources, also known as popular sources, and peer-reviewed sources. If you have any questions or need help using the university's library resources, please don't hesitate to contact a librarian via online chat, telephone, or email. Our general contact information for the library is always available on our homepage